In a world of rumors and reckless talk, one woman stands for truth. She doesn't speculate, she cross-examines. The courtroom is her kingdom, and justice wears heels.
Order in the court, let the facts be seen. Melissa Jade on the mic, call her crime scene queen. She don't do drama, she don't do lies. Every case get clean when she analyze. Cross that line, she'll object real quick. Logic so tight, it cut like a brick. Beautiful mind with a presence so loud. When she speaks, you can feel the whole room bow, room bow, room bow. She studies every angle, every word, every lie. And when she speaks, it's not emotion, it's evidence. No hearsay, just receipts on the table. She don't need fiction, truth's her label. Courtroom lights, blow her heels, click steady. Whole jury leaning like, man, we ready. They talk nonsense, she calls it out clear. Confident, strong, you can feel that in the air. She got the law locked and the facts in sway. Another case closed the Melissa J. way. They came with theories, she came with proof. They had opinions, she had the truth. They had the theories, she came with proof. They had opinions, she had the beauty don't fade when the brain got bite. She shine like a verdict red late at night. Smart, bold, blow loud and still so graceful. Every sentence sharp and tasteful. Some say justice is blind, but when Melissa Jade steps in, justice sees clearly. Yeah, she walked through lies like a gavel crack. Truth in her voice, ain't no turning back. Debunking myths with a lawyer's flair. She don't chase clout, she builds it there. Applause in the chat, they know her name. Melissa Jade, she don't play games. Beautiful, brilliant, truth unafraid. Bow to the queen of facts, Melissa Jade. The verdict is in, and the truth has a name. Melissa Jade. Melissa Jade.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. We are here nice and early because I'm excited and I want to listen to this with you guys. I know, Laura. Hi, Law Media Official. Ahoy, Bruce. Samantha says, let me get my popcorn and snacks. Hi, JS. You too, hun. Hi, Jen. Cindy says, Lisa Curran. We have Rochelle. Welcome. Mary Smith has been waiting so long for my reaction. I'm so excited. Hi, LMP, Amy Lynn. We have Nikipedia, YouTube YT, Kirsten Lee, Bible Lady, Nina, Julie, welcome. Zam Fam, Stir Crazy. I don't want to miss anyone. KV, Brandy Lee, Amy Lynn, Julie A, IB 0093, Marie Joey. Hi, Lisa 311, Fragile Like a Bomb. Rockies, Melissa, my fellow Melissa, welcome in. Oh, JS, I'm so excited. Yay, Cracked Peppermint says, mostly listening during work, but today I'm off, so hello, everyone. I know, that's why, I'm home this weekend, I'm available, and I'm like, let me do a little bit earlier. Yay, Jude, welcome. Hey, Jude. Hi, Solo Angel Mom. Wait, I'm still shook after watching live from my sofa, deep dive Jip Jip, and she sent nudes to her papa? Excuse me? I missed that. Hi, Michelle. I missed that. But okay. I don't know if I want to. I think I gotta look into that. I saw this stuff with Ryan Anderson, but I didn't see that. Can one of the mods grab Law Media Official's channel? Again, this is where I found Laura. Okay, it was her channel that came up in my feed, and just automatically, because I watched all the different court cases going on. And so if one of the mods could please grab it, make sure you are subscribed if you aren't subscribed. They have an amazing channel. Hi, Bootscoot. I'm so excited to hear your reaction. I am too. Me too. Oh my gosh. All right. So we have active Amber Alerts out. So our missing children, plural, for tonight's stream. Well, I'm sorry, this afternoon stream. We have, this is Romeo Ordonez, missing since January 28th, 2026 from Santa Clarita, California. He is 12 years old, male, Hispanic, brown hair, brown eyes, 5'7", 190 pounds, which 5'7", 12 years old. Wow. It says this Amber Alert has been activated by the CHP on behalf of the LA Sheriff's Department. Cristal, Sophia, and Romeo were last seen on January 28, 2026 at approximately 13:30 hours in Santa Clarita, Los Angeles County. The suspect is believed to be driving a 2018 Kia Sorento black with the license plate CA-8LRF237. So here we have Sophia. She is 9 years old. And we have Crystal, who is 45 years old. So if you or anyone you know has information on their whereabouts, please don't hesitate. Call 911 first or contact, if I get to it, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department at 661-287-5616. Thank you, Samantha. Here is her channel. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for everything you do. I heard about I mean, I don't watch it, but like, I'm happy for you, Anton. I'm happy for you. Woohoo! I know Mary Smith. And then also Medlin, like the Roblox case, this is just a terrifying world. It really is. I know, right, JS? Okay. All right. So, oh crap, I didn't do this. Hold on. Am I sharing? Okay, no. Well, while I'm doing this, if you haven't yet, take a second, hit the thumbs up. Thank you all for being here. If you were one of the Patreon winners last night, I sent the Patreon gifts out. Thank you again for Mary and the gifted Patreons that you donated. Sorry, I'm trying to do something at the same time and I can't speak. We are going on Patreon directly after this. It's not Laura related, it's Epstein related. But if that's something that you're interested in, keep an eye out and follow us over there after this stream. So let me move this. So I'm going to be playing this audio. And I need to add SchnitzelNinja into the link of the description. And I will be dropping Schnitzel's link in the chat also. But if you're on the replay, it's going to be in the description. That's where I'm going to be playing it from. Okay. Copy. Paste. Why doesn't it let me tag her? I don't know why that doesn't let me tag her. Okay. At Schnitzel. Oh, okay. Oh, it's because I'm not at SchnitzelNinja. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now we can start. Sorry, guys. I forgot to do that before I started. Okay. Are you ready? Are you guys ready? I'm so excited. Yeah, Schnitzel's channel is absolutely amazing. Hi, Couldn't Karen Les. Hi, Just Jen. Hi, I've listened to this MOC so many times and it never gets old. I am so excited. Hi, Lucy. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So she was talking about Gypsy Rose, Jip, who's a mess all on her own. Me too, Lisa. So we are, and I'll gift out a couple of more Patreon memberships today before we go live over there for anyone who wants. But Laura, so obviously it's so overwhelming trying to cover Laura when you have not been there from the beginning. Again, another shout out to the amazing community who has been so helpful, so kind, who has educated and informed us along the way. Mad props to you guys. But there's this whole other realm that we haven't tapped into, at least on my channel, with the bankruptcy. So as far as I'm understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Chelsea, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. Oh my God, it's been forever. I hope you're doing great. So please correct me if I'm wrong. We have Laura's parents who filed bankruptcy, and I believe that they were denied. And so we have Laura who has filed bankruptcy since her judgment against her in the Clayton Echard case. Is there no sound? Can everyone hear me? Because it goes by handles now, Chezzy. I don't know. Like, it does it so people can impersonate you. Okay, there's sound. Okay, just maybe someone can tell Julie, go out and come back in. Okay, thank you, Stir Crazy. So her parents had filed Chapter 13 and they were denied. And so Laura filed Chapter 7. So basically she had that huge judgment. There's sound in the casita. Yeah, Samantha, that's so funny that you say that, because I'm like, all right, I need to go through my membership emojis and kind of out with the Wade Wilson stuff and get in some Laura stuff. And I'm thinking about, I'm like, should I change my fruit? But at the same time, I like my dancing fruit, you know, like, but I'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm going to update and get some new membership emojis now to focus on what we're covering currently. But parents' bankruptcy was dismissed. Laura is currently in bankruptcy assessment. Thank you, Bruce. And if someone could also drop Bruce's link, if you see one of the creators who have been covering this, just grab their link, drop it, please. Like, shout out to all of them. But if someone could grab Bruce's link too. Sorry, I'm putting my mods to work today. I'm sorry. So Laura has this very large judgment against her in the Clayton Echard situation. And so it seems like she's tried to file for bankruptcy to avoid having to pay this. And so SchnitzelNinja dropped this audio. And there's so much that we're going to take away from this, okay? Hi, Colorado Canadian. Hi, DMMNT. So Laura, I think this is indicative of Laura going full steam ahead to trial. Now, obviously, anyone with a brain would look at Laura's situation and know, hey, if they offer you a plea, like, you should take it, like, you're screwed, right? Yet Laura does not come across as if she really understands the gravity of the situation. And I feel like she has been so entitled and never held accountable that she truly believes she can get out of this situation. She can outsmart the system. This bankruptcy hearing is indicative of that. I think it gives us great insight into where Laura currently is. So we know where she was, right? We could go back to the previous hearings, but I was curious, has she smartened up at all? You know, like, has she been told or advised by her attorneys, like, listen, like, this isn't good? And this hearing, okay, really tells me, oh no, you truly think you can still control this situation. Hi, Lisa. Yeah, that's why Clayton's attorney filed an adversary filing. Yes, absolutely. He knows what he's doing. No, it's not smart, Chris Wrinkley, at all. Hi, Candace. Thank you. Hi, all. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It takes a second and helps Melissa. It does. I appreciate you guys so much. Okay. So, I'm so excited. So this is a 3-minute hearing. Oh, look at that thumbs up. And this is a copy of the publicly available United Bankruptcy Court District of Arizona bankruptcy hearing, which is bankruptcy petition number 2:25-BK-1181-BKM, Laura Michelle Owens, February 9th, 2026. So Department of Justice attorney Jennifer Giamo asks Laura questions about her finances, including her debt to Cherry Tech, a potential purchase of HCG from Innova Med Spa, income, businesses like Quartet Farms, Nobody Told Me, Keybacker, Stylit, and Liz Max Investments, and Laura's 2023 money market statement. So trustee attorney Terry A. Dake questions Laura about Quartet Farms and horses owned by them and on the Owens property. Eric Haley, a trustee overseeing the hearing, and a 2004 hearing deposition will be held at a future date. A 2004 hearing deposition. Sorry, I'm reading Schnitzel's description, but the 2004 is throwing me off. A 2004 hearing deposition. Oh, maybe that's what, okay, a 2004 hearing. Got it. I thought it meant the year. Never mind. Okay, so the link to Schnitzel's channel is in the description, and I will be dropping it throughout. So let me... Yeah, not the year. Thank you. I know it took me a second to realize. I am so excited. Okay. So let me entertain you. Hold on.
Times for me to forget to hit the button. I didn't hit the recording button. Thought I did. All right.
Okay. So, are you guys ready? Are you ready? Okay, let me do this. Background color. Magenta. Okay, let me make it bigger. Let me go 300. Fuck it, let's go 400. We're gonna go bigger. Go home. Okay. No. Maybe. Maybe the capitals. Okay. All right. So here we go. This is playing from SchnitzelNinja. Link is in the description. Link will be in the chat. Shout out. And here we go.
We've got to start over. Luckily, we didn't get too deep into it. This is a call in the Owens case, Laura Owens case, 25-11801. I'm sorry, if you don't mind, I have to swear you in again. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Would you state your full name for the record, please?
Laura Michelle Owens.
Ms. Owens, do you understand the importance of the oath you just took?
Yes.
Is your address correct as it's listed in your petition?
Yes.
Is that where you currently reside?
Yes.
Did you receive the bankruptcy information sheet I sent out?
Go somewhere?
Yes.
Had you lived in Arizona at least 2 years before you filed this case?
Yes.
In the past 8 years, have you filed another bankruptcy case anywhere?
No.
Did you review all of your bankruptcy forms and paperwork before you filed it?
Yes.
When it came time to sign any of those documents, did you physically sign them yourself?
Yes.
Do you understand that you signed those documents under oath?
Yes.
Are all of your assets identified in your schedules?
If you guys...
Yes.
Sorry. If you want me to play the audio and play a different visual, like one of her court hearings or body cam footage, I can do that. That's totally up to you guys.
Of your creditors listed there?
Yes.
Are you paying or do you owe any child or spousal support obligations?
I do not.
Have you filed tax returns for all years up through 2024?
Yes.
Hold up. Let's do our list. Our first little pause-a-roo. And again, if you want to hear this straight through with no interruptions, I don't blame you. Please do it over on Schnitzel's. Give her the support. Give her the view. Give her the thumbs up. I'm going to be pausing and commentating because that's why the fuck I'm here, obviously, and I have lots of things to say. So just remember, she says, hi, Jupiter Janes. She said, yeah, she's filed tax returns up until current. Okay. Okay.
I got a 2024 tax return copy from you. What is the status of 2023s? That would have been another one that I asked for.
2023 should have been sent as well with the 24. I know my civil attorney, David Jinkerson, been helping me, and I thought he sent that one over.
Okay. Can you guys confer after we deal with the meeting today and follow up and get that to me? Make sure I get it. The 2024 tax return copy that I did see, was that a true copy of what you filed for that tax year?
Yes.
All right. In the past year, have you made any payments to any family members or friends?
No.
In the past 2 years, have you sold, given away, or otherwise transferred anything?
Yes.
Okay, and you answered yes to that on my trustee questionnaire. I don't remember seeing anything about that in your statement of financial affairs, but what are you talking about when you say yes to that answer, to that question?
Yeah, I started an LLC called Lizmax Investments LLC.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be for investment properties, and my mom ended up being the one who provided the down payment for a property, and she ran it herself. It wasn't something I ended up having anything to do with, so I gave her the LLC. I just took my name off of it.
Okay, and if we've already done some preliminary work in here, and if I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, the real estate that was the investment in that LLC is
Okay, so just pause to answer the question. She does not technically have an attorney on the bankruptcy. Okay, she is technically pro se, but as you will hear, she isn't alone. A little bit of gingivitis may be there with her, which may become an issue. I guess we'll see.
the LLC no longer has it. The bank took it back.
Yeah, it was forfeited.
Okay. Is that the only transfer that you that you made to any insiders, family members, friends?
Yes.
Or rather, that was the question. Was that? I'll ask it again. In the past 2 years, have you sold, given away, or otherwise transferred anything? So that's it. Whether it's an insider or not, that's the only thing you've transferred in the past 2 years?
Yes.
In the past 3 years, have you been a plaintiff in any personal injury litigation or some other kind of claim settlement?
Not personal injury. Nothing I would be entitled to money in.
Do you have any claims like that available to you that you've not begun to pursue yet for whatever reason?
No.
Do you currently have any ownership interest in real estate, whether it's through another entity or personally yourself anywhere?
No.
Are you the beneficiary in any trust or other kind of an estate?
No.
Have you gotten a divorce in the past 2 years?
No.
Okay. I don't have any other questions, and I'm going to open this up. But I don't think, based on the last meeting, that most of these people want to ask any questions. But I see Ms. Jaimo from the UST is here, and I'll give her the right of first refusal. Did you want to ask any questions, Ms. Jaimo?
Yes, Mr. Haley, do you mind if I have, maybe it's 10 minutes? Is that too long?
That's fine.
Spoiler alert, it was not indeed 10 minutes. It basically took up the entirety of this hearing, which I'm not complaining about. But Miss Gyro, I'm sorry, I don't know. Gyro, I think it's pronounced. She had some questions. She knew her assignment. She came prepared. So this is where it's going to get good.
This is the last one of the day.
Okay. Okay, so Ms. Owens, I'm an attorney with the U.S. Department of Justice, the U.S. Trustee's Office, and we oversee these bankruptcy cases sort of as a watchdog. And I had gone through your bankruptcy documents, and I just want to ask you some questions about some of them. But before I do, I just want to make sure. So is Mr. Gringas that's on here, is that your attorney for the bankruptcy case?
He has been helping with the adversary proceeding, but he's not my bankruptcy attorney. No, I'm not pro se, but he helped me because I confused some of the filings.
Okay. So just right off the bat, who dat? Who dat sitting there? Does he represent you? Does he represent you? Oh, okay. No, he listen, he doesn't like, no, I'm pro se, but he has helped me with some filings, and he's here for the adversary hearing, and like, you know, like, because I messed up some of the stuff. Okay, all right, sure. Already she's flooding out information, you know, because why is he can be there for the adversary hearing, but obviously they need to know if she's represented or not. But oh no, did he just filed with the court to enter the bankruptcy from now on? Oh my God, of course he did. Of course he did. And she said he helped her with the filings, which she did not disclose. It becomes a problem. Right, exactly, Sir Crazy. Can't do that without telling them he helped fill them out. It does become a problem. You can't have like your one foot in the door, 1 foot out the door. And we saw this previously, even in the emails we just read yesterday, where you claim you're consulting with Joe Cotchett, being advised by Joe Cotchett, intend to be represented by Joe Cotchett. And hi, Mike Clayton. So then obviously Greg's representation is going to reach out, because if you are represented, we can't communicate with you. And Laura just loves doing this, where no, I have my attorney do everything, but he's not technically my attorney, but I get to blame them when it's something that I don't want to be held accountable for, but at the same time, they're not your attorney. Like, it makes no sense. I believe that. If you are being questioned by a lawyer from the DOJ as a watchdog, you in danger, girl.
I can clarify that if you need me to answer.
Yeah, yes, please.
There's an adversary proceeding. It's attached to this. I represent Ms. Owens in the adversary proceeding, but only that, not in this main bankruptcy case. I'm obviously involved in the adversary part of it, and I've been communicating with Mr. Haley and his counsel as well. But I've not appeared for Laura in the bankruptcy, and I don't intend to if I don't have to. But I'm just on standby for now.
Okay, so Ms. Owens, I'm probably going to end up after this noticing your deposition and formally asking you for documents. So that's something I should ask of you personally, because you don't have an attorney, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to start with, I see that recently you amended the schedules of your assets to include a couple of Bank of America's accounts and an E-Trade account. Is that correct?
Correct. I had listed them in the wrong spot on my filing.
Okay. So what had prompted you to file the amendment? Were you just going over them and realized, oh, this is not in the correct place?
Okay, pause. Lisa, thank you so much. Congratulations if you got a membership from Lisa. That's very kind. So appreciated. Thank you. So anybody who may not be familiar with legal terminology, you filed amendments, right? What is an amendment? An amendment is you're just amending your original complaint or anything like that. So you're making a change. So say like I originally filed and it said X, Y, and Z. Well, I realized the Y and that was wrong. So I now amended my filing to just be X, B, Z, you know? So she's asking, Laura, well, what was the reason that you have multiple? Because you really shouldn't have multiple amended filings, like, you know, like, and especially what's being amended, you know, like that's very telling, because the facts should be the facts. So when you're amending certain things, I could understand like, all right, well, did you realize you filled it out wrong? Like, what was the purpose of all of these amendments?
Listed them in the wrong spot on my filing.
Okay, so what had prompted you to file the amendment? Were you just going over them and realized, oh, this was not in the correct place?
I believe that Mr. Tate had questions. He was assisting Mr. Haley, and he had questions. And so then David had helped me with making sure everything was in the right spot. So I guess, you know, in re-amending the schedule.
Ms. Jimo, I think you might mean Terry Dake.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay,
I'm so sorry. Yes.
You said Tate. I just wanted to make it clear. Okay.
Yes. Sorry about that.
Okay. So, so having seen that you amended the statements to identify those accounts, do you have copies, or can you easily get copies, like electronic copies of the bank account statements for the Bank of America account and the E-Trade account for 2025 and 2024?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are those accounts still open?
The E-Trade one is that I think is the same as Morgan Stanley. I think it is. Is that I think Morgan Stanley owns E-Trade. I think that's what it should be listed under. Do you see that? It's like
I'm just looking at your schedules, and it indicates E-Trade account.
Okay, then that's what I'm thinking of for the Morgan Stanley. I don't have like another. I know that's confusing what I just said, but I definitely do not have another bank account that's not listed. The E-Trade account. What was your question on that? I'm sorry.
If you can get copies for 2024 and 2025 of the statements.
Yes.
Okay, so that's not going to be a problem. So I'll be asking that of you in a formal document request.
Yes, that's no problem. I can get that. Yeah.
Okay, so no problem, right? We're going pretty well. We're not going anywhere crazy yet. You know, we're asking you about this E-Trade account, which, to be fair, I don't know what that is. Maybe someone more familiar with it in the chat can help. But you're disclosing all E-Trade accounts you have, and I'm going to, request the records, the document production. You're not going to have any issue as far as providing these statements, right, to show any transactions going in and out of this account. No, that's not a problem. I can get that. And you're going to hear the attorney say this numerous times, right, throughout the hearing, that she's going to be requesting these documents. So she's trying very much to get Laura on the record here and now that I'm going to be reaching out. I'm going to be requesting these documents. Do you agree? And she's doing that obviously for formality purposes, but also to ensure down the line, Laura's not going to turn around and have an objection to handing over and give a reason not to hand over what the lawyer is requesting. E-Trade is a do-it-yourself online trading and investment firm. Okay, thank you. Gringus is a big part of why she's in bankruptcy court. He told her repeatedly she would win on appeal, and he also told her not to be concerned with attorney costs since she could just file bankruptcy. How do you know that, Karen Blank? Like, if you want to buy stocks and don't want to hire a broker, you can do it yourself on E-Trade. Okay, thank you. Thank you for explaining. I definitely do not have another bank account that's not listed. Sure, Jan. Sure you don't. Ah, Mary. Okay. Morgan Stanley owns E-Trade now. Wow.
Very good. And I see that you added that you have a potential tax refund of about $891 for 2025. Is that correct?
Yes, I think that was for 25.
Okay. Put on our little thinking clap. We're going to play like a little Blues Clue. A clue. Okay. Like, just throw that paw in the chat when you hear something that you feel like needs to go in our notebook while we sit on this thinking chair. Okay. So a clue. We are sitting here and we're seeing Laura once again say that, yep, she filed all of her tax returns up until current. And for the year 2025, she received about $891 back, okay, on her return. Well, Julie, don't use logic here. Let's just sit down in our thinking chair and think, shall we? Let's acquire all of our clues and then take a guess.
And where did you come up with that figure? That precise figure?
I did it on Credit Karma. I did like my taxes on Credit Karma, and they came up with that figure, but then I never got a refund, so I was just presuming it was.
I can shed some light on that. That's the Ms. Owens affair.
Wait, hold the fuck on, gingivitis. Why are you Are you here for the adversary hearing, or are you here to represent Laura? Because this is, again, the person who is advising her, sir, You're licensed to practice, okay? You should know better than us. But why are you stepping in? Oh, I'm sorry. That's not David. Then I stand corrected. Oh, was this the trustee guy? Then you know what? Melissa shuts the fuck up. My bad. Not yet. I mean, I'll say the same thing, I'm sure, in a few minutes. But my bad. Never mind. I'm going to go back to my chair.
I did like my taxes on Credit Karma, and they came up with that figure, but then I never got a refund, so I was just presuming it was.
I can shed some light on that. That's the Ms. Owens, that's the amount that's listed on the 2024 federal return that I got from you. So I assume it's your testimony that you never received that.
No, I did not.
Did you file that timely? You filed that 2024 return when on or before the deadline, or maybe the extension deadline, which would have been near the end of 2025?
Yes.
Okay.
So speaking about the tax returns, Ms. Owens, will you permit Mr. Haley to share copies of the tax returns that you provided him and are going to provide to him with me?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So
again, on the record. Exactly, Lauren. Hi, the Pixie Haven. Oh, we missed you. I'm glad you're here. Getting her on the record, anything that you send to Mr. Haley, can I have you on the record agreeing now that you're okay at having that all handed over to me? Yes. Okay. Because we're going to anticipate Laura objecting somewhere down the line to handing over the documents.
Mr. Haley, you have no problem sending those to me, correct?
I do not.
All right, thank you. All right. Did you have a CPA or accountant or any financial, bookkeeper, somebody assisting you with your tax returns or not?
No, I just used Credit Karma.
Okay. And I see that in your schedules, you listed debt to Cherry Tech, and that's a lender for Innova Med Spa, correct?
Cherry Tech is a lender that I used for Botox and for like a skin firming treatment that I got. I don't know if they're within Innova Tech, but that's not what I used it for. It was pool sculpting was the one I used it for.
Hold the fuck on. We need to go back there a second. Notice when she's overcompensating. That's when it's like, a clue. Because it's a very simple, like, yes, no question that she's being asked, yet how much of an answer she is giving. Like, you don't need the supporting answer, but that didn't even make fucking sense. Okay?
Credit Karma.
Okay. And I see that in your schedules, you listed debt to Cherry Tech, and that's a lender for Innova Med Spa, correct?
Cherry Tech is a lender that I used for Botox and for like a skin firming treatment that I got. I don't know if they're within Innova Tech, but that's not what I used it for. It was pool sculpting was the one I used it for.
You know you're rich and entitled when you like have lenders for fucking Botox and like cool sculpting. I don't even know what that means. I don't live in that fucking world. But like, again, it was a very simple yes or no question. And which all it tells me is that my ears are perked up and there's something around those lenders that she may not want dug into more.
And I would provide the name of the place that did that as well.
Okay, so you never obtained any loans from Cherry Tech based on services or products that you purchased from Innova Med Spa?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I've gone to a lot of places for Botox and procedures, but that's not where I think I did anything for Cherry.
Okay. So do you have documents that show, invoices, copies of that sort of thing that will show the debt that you owe to Cherry Tech that you listed here in the schedules?
Yeah, I should.
All right. So those are also documents that I'm going to ask for in my formal document request. So,
okay.
And just be.
Yeah. So just for anyone who may not be as familiar, allegedly that is where she received her HCG treatments. And if you guys remember going over the investigative report just yesterday, we read about how they would this person would give HCG treatments for the weight loss. Okay. But Laura is making sure out of the gate that this was for like Botox and many treatments, like cool sculpting treatments and shit that I got. How much could you owe to them? How much? Cool Sculpt is a procedure to blast fat cells without invasive procedures. But wait, I thought, first of all, wasn't Laura asked to stand up to show just how small she was, right? Just look how tiny she is. Like, oh, she's only 90 pounds, if I remember correctly. 2, who the fuck, who in the Elmer Fudd would prescribe HCG weight loss treatment to Laura being a merely 90 fucking pounds? Inquiring minds would like to know.
There are also documents that I'm going to ask for in my formal document request. So, okay. And just be aware, please don't destroy any documents right now while you're in bankruptcy. It's crucial that you keep all your documents. We're going to be asking for some documents. And even if we don't ask for them, you shouldn't be destroying anything right now.
Okay, no, I'm not.
Okay. All right. So on Schedule I, it indicates that you have 0 income. So no income from wages or operating a business, correct?
Correct.
And so for what time period were you stating that you had no income for?
I mean, I haven't ever in my life had like a 1099 or W-2 job.
What? Oh, you heard that right, folks. So never in my entire life have I ever received a W-2 or 1099. My income, you ask? 0. 9. None. Zilch. Nada. Now again, let's flip back a page in our notebook and remember that she filed all of her taxes up until current, and her 2025 tax return returned 800 and change. Okay. But her income is 0. And how far back has her income been 0? Forever. Never, ever, 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 allegedly, according to her, has she received $1. She has never worked a day in her fucking life.
I mean, I haven't ever in my life had like a 1099 or W-2 job, but I've, really been supported by my family.
So never in your life have you received a 1099 or a W-2 from any business, including your own businesses?
Correct. Never.
Have you ever received any kind of tax form like a Schedule K-1 that indicates that you have a certain share of earnings from a partnership or an interest in an entity?
No, I know that the LLC, my family's LLC business taxes are filed on a Schedule C. And that's all I know.
But you are the owner of at least 4 entities that you identified in the Statement of Financial Affairs. You are an owner of at least 4 entities.
I think that I would consider it to be like 4 I was associated with. Maybe David could offer some clarification because he helped me answer that question. David?
Well, let me just pipe in here.
Listen to her dictate the fucking courtroom, okay? You know what? I think David could give some insight to this. Actually, David, if you could just pipe right on in, David. What? I'm sorry. What? Who do you think you are? And number 2, again, you are pro se. You can't do that. He either is there for the adversary hearing observing, or he represents you. But you can't pull him in depending on when it's convenient and when you can't explain it and you know you're going to incriminate yourself. Hey, David, you want to jump right on in and give us some insight? That would be great, David. Are you kidding me? Yeah, she wants it both ways. But don't worry, she's not going to get away with it.
You're an owner of at least 4 entities.
I think that I would consider it to be like 4 I was associated with. Maybe David could offer some clarification because he helped me answer that question. David?
Well, let me just pipe in here. Either Mr. Gringas represents you or he does not. So I'm not comfortable with having Mr. Gringas step in as your counsel.
Right.
So, if he's not your counsel here, unfortunately, he cannot be, advising you on how to answer that. I guess, do you have a copy of your statement of financial affairs in front of you?
I do not, but I have always thought I was the manager of LLCs, not an owner, and I have not ever filed them on my taxes or anything.
Okay. Hold on. Let me put you in your place, which I'm totally here for. But then you have yourself listed as owner, do you not? Oh, I see. Hi, Callie. I saw myself more as a manager, not an owner of these LLCs. Okay, Laura. And so again, not surprised that Gringas is now representing her, because after this, she's screwed. You're screwed, okay? And this is what happens when Laura's left to answer questions on her own. Yeah, she just admitted to tax fraud.
Always thought I was the manager of LLCs, not an owner, and I have not ever filed them on my taxes or anything.
Okay, just because I want you to be aware that if you look at your own statement that you filed under oath, you check off the box that you are an owner of at least 5% of the voting or equity securities of these 4 entities: Quartet, Lizmax, Keybacker, and Stylet. So is that incorrect information that you put on there?
I thought it was if I had been known to have any identity with those, and I knew they were ones that my name has been associated with over the years, and I was trying to cover my bases. In terms of listing.
Listen, my name, Melissa Jade, I'm associated with YouTube, okay? I have a channel. You could find me on Google. It's associated. So essentially, I own fucking Google and YouTube. It's there, I'm associated with YouTube. Google owns YouTube. I own Google. I assume they're one and the same.
Those, and I knew they were ones that my name has been associated with over the years, and I was trying to cover my bases in terms of listing which ones I've been a part of.
Okay, and also I looked at your LinkedIn account, and it indicates on the LinkedIn account that you're an owner and executive with those entities. Is that not?
I mean, they're really not operable. I mean, I'm trying to market myself as an entrepreneur, but it's not like I've got these businesses that are, operable.
Okay, I'm not asking yet about whether they're operating. I'm asking about whether or not you are an owner, and you hold yourself out to be an owner of these entities on your LinkedIn account and on your sworn schedules in this case. So, and now you're saying you're not an owner, you were just, I don't know what you were. Mm-hmm. So were you an owner of the 4 entities?
I mean, I'm more they're my family's entities, and I'm more like the face of my family's entities with those businesses, I guess.
Okay, well, we can...
That's the best way I would say that. I know I'm not answering it well. I'm not trying to not be truthful. I genuinely don't know how to explain it.
Okay, well then you'll have to make sure, I'm going to recommend to you that you go back over your schedules, that you sign up for penalty of perjury and make sure everything's accurate, because you have in your sworn schedules stated that you are an owner of those entities.
Okay, I will go back and reevaluate that. I'm sorry.
Reevaluate that?
Okay. All right, so On Schedule I, which is where you were supposed to list your income on the bankruptcy schedules, you added a line item on 8H for family support for food and living expenses, and you put 0. So was that a mistake? Do you receive any kind of family support to pay your expenses, your monthly expenses?
They just pay them out of their money. I don't, out of my parents' pension and Social Security. They don't give me money to pay that. They pay it directly.
So what are they paying directly when you say they pay it?
Well, I live on their property, so I mean, you could technically say they're paying, housing and for my food.
Okay. What about your car payments?
We share a car. They pay for my car.
And this is when it becomes really clear, honestly, at least in my opinion. How do you get a Laura Owens? Yes, of course, I think some type of personality disorder exists there, in my unprofessional opinion. But this is what happens when you are spoiled, entitled, never worked for a damn thing in your life, never held accountable for a damn thing in your life, no consequences to your actions. Mommy and daddy always got you off, told you you're the bestest, perfect little princess. That is how you get a Laura Owens. Enabling is not love. This is the product of that.
Okay, so they directly, because you are the sole owner of the.
I'm the sole owner, but they're paying for it right now because I can't afford to make the payment.
Okay, so that's something that you do need to specify how much it is, even if you have to come up with an estimate on Schedule I of your schedules. You have to indicate.
So, and sorry, not to pause again, but those trips she was buying, those lavish trips, all expenses paid. Whose money was that, Laura? Whose money was that from?
How much money they're fronting for you for your expenses.
Okay.
Let's leave it 0.
Okay.
So you'll need to figure that out and amend Schedule I, okay? Okay. So, and I'm assuming your parents also pay your car insurance?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't pay any bills for yourself?
Yes.
No.
And you say that are you saying that you've never earned any income on your own, ever?
Correct.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 35.
So 35 years, you have never made any income on your own to pay your own bills?
I mean, like I said, I'm the face of my parents' businesses, so they've, paid my living expenses in exchange for me helping them.
No. And thank you, Tess, for 40 months. That is incredible. You are how old? 35? And you have never once paid $1, earned anything, paid your own bills? And what does she mean by, well, my parents are fronting it right now because I can't afford those payments? When could you have ever afforded those? When you've never made $1? You've never had a W-2, you've never had a 1099. So what do you mean like they're fronting because you can't afford it right now? What exactly did you do for these companies, Laura? I was the face of them. We've seen those faces.
My living expenses in exchange for me helping them.
Okay, so that's kind of a compensation for your services then.
I don't take advantage of it, but
well, you're providing them with services and they're compensating you by paying your bills, is what you just said, right?
yeah, exactly.
Well, then you better figure out how you're going to want to disclose that in these schedules, because that is a form of compensation. I would recommend that you really read through what the the schedules and the statements require you to disclose.
Okay.
And we'll go more into this because I'll probably have to take your deposition, but I wanted to make sure to give you an opportunity to amend anything that you were contending was just an innocent mistake. Okay, so the biggest issue I had was that, regarding this claim of yours that you don't make any income. So you are aware that on the Statement of Financial Affairs, you did not disclose receiving any income of any kind for 2023, 2024, and 2025 through the date of the bankruptcy filing. You're aware you did that, right?
Yes, I didn't understand that how I was supposed to say if my expenses were getting paid for.
No, we're not talking about expenses. Right now, on the statement on the Statement of Financial Affairs, on items number 4 and 5, and you could take notes if you want so you can follow up and look,
Okay.
into this.
I don't have a pen, but I have my phone here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Which schedule is that?
So it's not the schedule, it's the Statement of Financial Affairs.
Mhm.
And you've recently amended it. So it's items number 4 and 5. Required you to disclose all income you received, even if it was non-taxable income.
Okay.
There's 2023, 2024, and 2025 up through the date you filed the bankruptcy petition, okay?
Okay.
So I guess let me ask you, does your 2024 tax return indicate that you received any type of taxable income at all?
No. I know I was under the limit, but I just thought I had to file it anyway.
So what do you mean you
Wait, ho. There is a difference between zero income and not meeting the threshold to have to file the taxes and owe money or get money back. So which one is it, Laura? Because again, you're filing taxes, yet you make $0. You're getting reimbursed, but not getting reimbursed. A clue.
taxable income at all?
No. I know I was under the limit, but I just thought I had to file it anyway.
So what do you mean you were under the limit? Under the limit?
For like, I know there's like some, if you make below a certain amount, you don't have to file, but I thought I did need to file anyway.
Okay, but so it wasn't zero though. So you might have been below the threshold for there to be a tax, but you did make some money. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, not to me. I mean, if you're going based on what my parents paid for, then yes, but I didn't make $1 last year.
I'm talking about now 2023. Let's talk about 2023.
In 23.
Yeah, what about in 2023?
It was the same situation.
Okay, well, I guess I'm a little confused because, so your testimony is that in 2023, and you're saying now under oath that you made no income whatsoever in 2023.
Right.
Is that what you're saying under oath right now?
I think maybe I don't quite understand what the question is because it goes back to the LLCs with my family and and just how I'm understanding the question. All I've had has been they've compensated me by paying my expenses, and so it's been the same. So nothing has changed. I just want to make sure I'm answering it correctly, but I'm not sure I am.
Okay, you were asked on the Statement of Financial Affairs to disclose all income, whether it was taxable, that you received from employment or from operating a business or from any source really whatsoever. And that would actually include gifts. You declared zero for 2023.
Zero.
Is that a truthful statement now that you're sitting here under oath? I just need for you to tell me if that's still a truthful statement.
Are you referring to like if they gave me a certain amount of money, then is that what you're referring to? Because there was nothing like tangible like that. They didn't, say here's $10,000 and.
Really? How'd you pay for the trips? I could understand housing, food, car, your phone, internet. What about those Iceland trips? What about the house of prime fucking rib? Just, questions.
That would be income. I mean, like my bank statements will show it's not like I had anything in there.
Well, I guess I'll have to see your 2023 tax returns.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Did you declare any income at all on your 2023 tax returns?
No, not that I can recall, unless I was saying that my parents, like there was an equivalent to what they were giving me, but I don't think I did that.
Okay, so I'll follow up with that in deposition, but I do need to understand, you're saying that now, but are you aware that what you're saying right now is completely inconsistent with the testimony you gave under oath in the Owens versus Echard paternity case? Are you aware of that?
Yes. Are you referring to? Can you please explain?
More specific? Absolutely. So you were deposed in that paternity case on March 1st, 2024, correct?
Correct.
And in that deposition, you testified under oath that in 2023, you and your mother received about $83,000 of total income from the podcast, Nobody Told Me.
Mm-hmm.
You recall testifying to that? Do you recall testifying to that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So was it true when you said it then?
The podcast was making not much money, yes.
Okay. And in that testimony, you said you received half of that. So that's about a little less than $41,000, a little more.
But it was something that, our businesses have been such that we've paid the expenses out of like what's been taken in. So it's gone right out.
Right, I understand. And so you would say that there was no net income? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, we had huge losses from the businesses. Yeah.
Okay, regardless, on the statement of financial affairs, it told you to disclose all gross income, not net income. And you did not disclose that for 2023.
Whoopsies.
I'm not sure it made that in 23. I think in
that's what you testified.
23. In 23, I know I testified that, but I was thinking of the previous years. It definitely didn't make that in 23.
No, you're incorrect. Let me correct you. In 2024, you testified, and the question was posed to you in 2024, how much money did you make from this podcast in 2023? And you testified under oath that in 2023, the podcast generated $83,000 of income, of which you received half. That was your testimony under oath.
I like what I was entitled to if I needed to touch it or if I needed to do something with it. I mean, again, it comes back to I did not understand what the questions were, and I'm trying not to answer anything I don't understand.
Okay, well, again, I'm going to remind you before we meet again for a deposition that I'm going to have you
I think she's smart with her wording there, but she's learned to word it that way because comprehension is a big thing, obviously, in any court hearing. And so I don't know if she's been advised or just learned over time to make sure to say, I don't want to answer something that I don't understand, because she's already putting on the record that she's not comprehending. So she may answer wrong because she's not properly understanding. So I don't want to say I think it's smart that she's doing it versus I think that, at the same time, like she's doing that for a reason.
To my office here, you might want to consider going over your answers to the statement of financial affairs. I don't know why that shut off. Hold on. Okay. Because you're supposed to disclose all gross income from 2023, 2024, and 2025. Also, when you testified at your deposition on March 1st, 2024, you testified that your horse business, and I believe that's Quartet. Was that what the name is?
Yeah, my parents' business is Quartet Farms. I'm a manager of it.
Yes, but you hold yourself out to be the owner of that on LinkedIn, correct?
As the manager. I mean, like I said, so much of this is just semantics, and I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to be dishonest or like hype.
All of it, listen, ma'am, all this is just semantics. You're saying that I listed myself as the owner. I'm saying I'm the manager. You're saying I got paid. I'm saying I didn't. It's just semantics. Come on. This isn't bankruptcy court or anything.
And I don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm not trying to be dishonest or like hype.
Right, but you understand that what it means, there's a difference between a manager and an owner, and you use...
I didn't know that. I didn't know.
On your LinkedIn profile, you don't know...
I did know on my LinkedIn, I didn't know there was a difference between a manager and a member on the LLCs. I didn't know what the difference was.
Right, I'm talking about your LinkedIn profile. You hold yourself out to be an owner of Quartet. Is that not true?
Correct.
Correct what? It's not true that you lied on LinkedIn? Is that correct to say you lied on LinkedIn?
I think I didn't understand what my title was, so I guess technically, but it wasn't something that I'm trying to, it wasn't like I deliberately said that. It's my family's business. I think of it as like my family's company.
All right, well, the question is, you state on your LinkedIn profile that you're an owner of Quartet. Is that true or not?
Then I guess now when I'll change my LinkedIn, I didn't understand.
Okay. So anyway, you testified on March 1st, 2024 that the horse business, Quartet, made $144,000 of income, and that was split between you and your mom. Do you recall testifying to that?
That amount was made, but probably $400,000 in losses.
Okay, that's not what I'm asking. You gotta listen to my question. I asked you, do you recall testifying that you and your mother split $144,000 of gross income that was generated from the horse business in 2023?
I mean, I don't feel like I'm answering these questions the correct way. I mean, it's just that
the only correct way, Ms. Owens,
business bank account, it didn't go to me directly, yeah.
The only correct way for you to answer is honestly. Okay, so
but that's what I'm trying to do is answer as honestly as I can. And I don't know a lot of the stuff that you're asking me, the answers to, because they're my family's businesses and I don't know.
Oh, well. Oh, Laura, don't cry.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Poor Laura. When you are being asked a direct question and your only response is to break down and cry, I don't know. Is she gonna cry? She is fucking crying. She let's listen again to the crackling breakdown. A clue.
The only correct way for you to answer is honestly. Okay, so
but that's what I'm trying to do is answer as honestly as I can. And I don't know a lot of the stuff that you're asking me, the answers to, because they're my family's businesses and I don't know.
Okay. Well, that is what you testified to under oath in your deposition in the paternity suit, so we'll have to deal with that later. But that is extremely at odds with what...
Yeah, but she's on the spectrum now, okay? And she gets to weaponize that and use that. I'm surprised if it hasn't come up already. Obviously, you haven't seen her blog post explaining all of this.
Okay. Well, that is what you testified to under oath in your deposition in the paternity suit, so we'll have to deal with that later. But that is extremely at odds with what you testified to under oath in your pleadings in this case.
Correct, because I presumed that was what my equivalent would be in terms of what I had done and brought in for work.
Okay. The other testimony that you gave, which is actually at trial in front of a judge on June 10th, 2024, you testified in front of a judge that you were, at the time of trial, 2024, making $200,000 a year approximately. Do you recall that testimony?
Correct, yeah.
And now, is that truthful testimony?
I'm not comfortable answering that now that I realize how much I have messed up my other answers, and I want to speak to an attorney before I answer. Because
Laura, so you're a fucking liar? Is that safe to say? I'm not comfortable saying that because I haven't gotten so many lies already, so I think I need to speak to an attorney. God damn it, Grindis, get in here. Yeah, You sure as fuck did mess up, Laura, but please continue. We're all here for it.
I realize how much I have messed up my other answers, and I want to speak to an attorney before I answer, because I genuinely don't know how I'm trying to explain that income has been split up into my family.
Okay, I'm just asking if at trial you testified in front of the judge that at the time you were making about $200,000 a year, and I'm just asking if that was true.
That was exactly what I thought at the time. I mean, I know what the businesses generated, so.
But you didn't report that on your bankruptcy, your sworn bankruptcy statement.
But that's what our family's businesses generated, and I have been like the face of the businesses doing a lot of the work. So that's why I said that amount. I mean, I still know that was consistent with what they made, and that's why I said that amount.
Okay. Well, again, we'll have to delve into this more in a deeper way when you come here for a deposition. So are any of the entities, let me just go by each one. Quartet, is that still operating?
Yes.
And is Lizmax still operating?
No, that needs to be closed officially, but it's not. Property is forfeited.
What about Keybacker? Is that still operating?
Yay.
No.
And Stylete was never operating, correct?
No.
All right, but Quartet, and that's the wholesaling business?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
And that's still operating?
Yes.
And do you still work for that entity?
That entity is not doing anything actively right now.
All right, so you're saying that these businesses, these LLCs, there were no tax returns filed individually on behalf of them? Was there or no?
Lizmax, yes. The other ones, the other two you said were Keybacker and Stylete. Is that correct?
Yes.
No, there were no tax returns. Those never got off the ground.
What about Quartet?
Quartet, my parents file on their Schedule C.
Okay.
Thank you, Kiki.
So your parents are the ones that file on their Schedule C. They have the income of Quartet flow through to them on their own tax returns. Is that what you're saying?
And nobody told me LLC.
And nobody told. Bitch, are you not 35 years old? Thank you so much, Kiki Kins. That's very kind and generous. Thank you. Yeah, she's cooked. She's well done. All right. She's put a fork in her. She's finished. But again, you're essentially admitting that you're taking all the success of all of your parents' businesses, putting your own name that you own them, taking the credit for it, acting and flaunting as if you pull in those numbers. But then when it comes down to it, right, and you're finally held accountable and you owe this money, I never made $1. I feel like I need a lawyer. What is happening here? What happened to the big bad bitch who was looking for all of these real estate places, right? Who was flaunting around those watches with Michael? This goes all the way back. This has been you from the start. And the first drop, the first taste, inkling of accountability, you are crumbling.
They have the income of Quartet flow through to them on their own tax returns. Is that what you're saying?
And nobody told me LLC.
Okay. Okay. I just have three more questions. So during the paternity action in the state court, you did testify in an affidavit that you had almost $450,000 of cash in a checking account. Do you remember stating that under oath in an affidavit in the paternity suit?
That was a misunderstanding with my attorney. So I was going to buy property with the defendant on that, and he knew that I was going to be borrowing the down payment from an investor who he had spoken to using this method called the Morley method, but Clayton admitted under his deposition that he spoke to the guy, and the guy had $450,000 in a money market.
Okay, hold on. Again, here we go again, where it's a very direct question, and you are going, you're pointing the finger at Clayton. It doesn't fucking matter who Clayton spoke to. It doesn't matter if Clayton believed you that it was an error. That none of that fucking matters. What matters is what was stated, what was filed, what was written, what's under oath, right? Compared to what you're saying now. Yeah, it's Clayton's fault. Clayton even knows. Clayton even knows, okay? She's not here about Clayton.
He had spoken to using this method called the Morphy method, but Clayton admitted under his deposition that he spoke to the guy, and the guy had $450,000 in a money market account, and that's the proof of funds he submitted. It was never mine, and Clayton knew it was never mine.
Okay, so are you talking about Gail Lynn Rich? Is that the investor that you're referring to?
I don't know who that is.
Well, attached to your affidavit.
It was a man named Matt Bentley, and it was his mother-in-law. That could have been what her name was. That definitely could have been her name.
Okay, so because you attached a copy of this money market checking account statement to your affidavit claiming, and you admitted in your affidavit that you attached, and I'm quoting your affidavit now, I attached proof of funds to the offers, which included a current bank statement showing I had almost $450,000 in cash in my checking account as shown below. And then there's an excerpt of that money market account. That's your affidavit.
That is your affidavit. Did you amend that at all? Miss, I have $450,000 in my cash checking account right meow.
So, David was my civil attorney, and that was his error, and he will explain that if you have any questions.
David was my civil attorney in that, and that was his error. So if you have any questions, you could direct them to him, even though you just scolded me and explained that he's not here representing you, so he can't chime in. But if you have any questions about that, I am not the one you need to direct those questions to. It's gingivitis, okay?
That was his error, and he will explain that if you have any questions.
I understand that, Ms. Owens, but you're the one who signed it under oath.
I didn't read it carefully enough, and as I said, Clayton deposed to the fact that he's the one who submitted the proof of funds. He got that information. He knew it was never mine.
Okay, so we'll explore that further too.
I love how she keeps saying, okay, we're going to put a pin in that, and we're going to explore that during your deposition. Did I remind you that you're going to be deposed? Okay, we'll explore that during your deposition. Hey, Laura, yeah, you know what? Let's put a pin in that. That's going to be during your deposition. She keeps throwing it out there, making sure she knows, hey, you may get to a little wiggle your way out of it right here, because I originally said I needed 10 minutes, and here we are 40 minutes later. But all of this, we are going to get into when I depose you, Miss Ma'am. And Domino's will not be provided for lunch.
To the fact that he's the one who submitted the proof of funds. He got that information. He knew it was never mine.
Okay, so we'll explore that further too. Okay, then what's the need?
I mean, if you have another question about it, I'm happy to answer it.
Well, my question is, when you made that statement in your affidavit, I attached proof of funds to the offers, which included a current bank statement showing I had almost $450,000 in cash in my checking account. Was that a false statement?
I didn't write that. It's David signed it. I mean, David signed it. David was my attorney. David signed the pleading.
Oh, you're getting into a little bit dangerous territory here. Okay. Yes, an attorney can sign on your behalf with your permission. You know, when you are being represented, there's a million and one things you're going to be signing. Sometimes it's, hey, can I sign on your behalf? Yes, but you need to review it. It's not just, can I sign on your behalf without you reviewing it? You need to thoroughly review it, make sure everything is accurate. But she is throwing her gingivitis tooth under the bus. Okay. This is David. And so once again, like I said previously, you can direct all questions related to this matter to David, my non-attorney for this matter. Thank you. A clue.
Cash in my checking account. Was that a false statement?
I didn't write that. It's David. I mean, David signed it. David was my attorney. David signed the pleading.
Well, you understand that when you sign an affidavit swearing under penalty of perjury that it's truthful, there's consequence to that. You are attesting under oath and subject to penalty of perjury that is a truthful statement. Are you saying that's not truthful now?
The $450,000 was not my error. David will take that. That was not my. He signed that affidavit for me. I didn't sign that.
Oh.
I mean, he knew that wasn't my amount of. He knows that. I mean.
Oh.
You're denying that you signed the affidavit? I have a copy of it in front of me showing your signature.
I believe David had a copy on hand of my signature, and yeah.
Again, you're getting into a little bit of dangerous territory because now we're not talking about e-signature. We're talking about physical signature, which, again, technically, can they, with your permission? Yes. But Laura, you're teetering into territory where you're about to accuse your attorney of falsifying documents and your signature. You know what you've been charged with, Miss Ma'am. Interesting, huh? It's always the one pointing the finger.
Signed the affidavit? I have a copy of it in front of me showing your signature.
I believe David had a copy on hand of my signature, and yeah.
You authorized him to sign for you, correct?
Yeah, I guess that would be what it is.
Well, you're not accusing him of forging your signature, are you?
No.
Okay, so the fact of the matter is you authorized him to sign attesting that this was truthful, but it turns out it's not.
Yes, yeah.
Sorry,
I guess.
that was clever. That's what she said. It's an after David, not an affidavit. David wrote it, and she signed after David. That's clever. I like that.
Okay, two more questions. Just can you tell me the nature of the Owens versus Maricini lawsuit, which is currently on appeal? What's the nature of that suit?
It's a domestic violence restraining order lawsuit.
Okay, that you had filed against her, this defendant, Maricini?
Yes.
And did you seek damages, any kind of recovery in that lawsuit?
No.
It was just a restraining order?
Yeah.
Okay, and then, it says it's on appeal. Who filed an appeal?
I appealed it.
Okay, when did you file the appeal?
I think it was like December 5th. Of 2025. I'm pretty sure.
And how did you get the money to pay for an appeal, to pay for appeal attorney and all the costs associated with an appeal?
I don't have an appellate attorney, and my fees were waived by the court because of my income.
Okay, so you haven't paid any kind of fees in connection with that appeal?
No.
And you are appealing a decision that denied you this restraining order?
It got dismissed because I was in the hospital and I'm on the day of the hearing. So, yeah.
And what's the nature of the Owens versus Gillespie lawsuit that concluded in Maricopa County?
That was a civil case that I filed.
And what was the nature of that suit? What was the claim?
Abortion coercion was the claim.
And were you seeking damages to recover any money in that case?
I was seeking damages, and at one point I asked that they be made to a charity, to a women's charity.
Did you was judgment entered in your favor?
No. Nobody ended up getting anything.
How was it resolved? Was it case dismissed, or was there a trial?
Yep.
It was, he filed a counterclaim, and it was dismissed on both sides.
Somebody's got their phone on.
Yeah,
I think it's 602, whatever that number is. I can see.
Up. Sorry. Even her, yeah, someone totally does have their phone on and I can't hear. Let her speak. You're not running this. This reminds me of when during the family court hearing, you turn around and everyone started laughing at you and you're like, I can't testify like this. Stop laughing at me. Like, this isn't your let her. She's running this fucking room if you have not figured that out yet, okay? But if she needs to say, excuse me, someone has their phone on and I can't hear, that's not your place to speak up and say, yeah, someone totally does have their phone on. But she knows how many people are in attendance, and that is her problem with it.
And it was dismissed for on both sides.
Somebody's got their phone on.
Yeah, I can't.
I think it's 602, whatever that number is, I can see. You can see. Somebody, please mute your phones. Thank you. I'm sorry, Ms. Owens. Can you just so basically, I just wanted to know how that was resolved. Was it did it go to trial? Was it dismissed? What happened with that case?
It ended up being dismissed. I think they maybe my side and his side. He filed counterclaims, but neither of us ended up getting anything at the end of the day.
Thank you, Kiki Ken.
Okay. All right, that's all I have. I very much appreciate you answering my questions. And
We're not done yet, though. We have a little bit more. Thank you, Kiki Kens, for 5 months. Lies equal consequences. Laura Owens knows she's to be punished, yet simultaneously, and we would always debate this in Letitia's case too, which is why I find them so similar. She proceeds as if she is unaware with just how screwed she is. And we spoke about it with Letitia, right? There's no way she thought all of these lies, like there's no possible way she thought it was believable. Yet at the same time, you find yourself arguing, yet it seems like she believed she was able to get herself out of this. And so they're so similar in so many ways. But thank you so much for the support and for 5 months.
Any objection? All objections.
Mr. Haley, thank you for allowing me to take up so much time to ask these questions. But just to be clear, Ms. Owens, I do intend to have, I will be asking formally for documents, which will include those bank statements. And I will be asking you to come into my office here in downtown Phoenix for a deposition. In fact, just because since you're on the line and I don't have a phone number for you, I'm not going to ask you to reveal it on this call. But can you please look up my email and send me an email so you and I can talk on the phone to schedule?
Me too.
I want to accommodate your schedule for when you can come in. I don't want to ask you to come in when you're not available.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so it's Jennifer G. Imo.
I'm making a prediction right here in Meow, and I want you guys to make your predictions too. 1, how many times will that deposition need to be rescheduled? And 2, what type of excuse will Laura have why she can't attend the original scheduling of the deposition? Because you know there's going to be issues, and there's going to be an issue with that document production. She's not going to want to hand over any and all documents related to the accounts or businesses she's talking about or the tax statements, because it's going to reveal a bigger crime. Well, I won't say a bigger crime, parallel crimes.
Schedule. I want to accommodate your schedule for when you can come in. I don't want to ask you to come in when you're not available.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so it's Jennifer G. Imo. My email address is on the docket sheet.
Okay.
It's jennifer.gimo@usdoj.gov.
Okay.
And if you could reach out to me, we can work on a date to get you in here that's convenient to you. Okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Imo.
Yeah.
Are there any other parties in the meeting who wish to examine this debtor?
Mr. Haley, Marcus Reisinger for Clayton Echard. I don't have any questions, but I would, with your permission, Ms. Giacomo's permission, like to attend the trial.
Absolutely.
So the deposition. So Clayton's representation is saying they don't have any questions for Laura to examine the debtor. Basically anyone who essentially feels like they have a claim, or I'm sorry, maybe not a claim, like entitled to money that she owes back, can speak up at that point. But Clayton's representation is asking for that 2004 exam, the deposition, I would like to attend because I'm here for the adversary hearing, which she, like this attorney, she came to play. She was like, yep, sure, you sure the fuck can. not saying that she would normally deny it, but like she was educated on this matter. She walked in ready to fucking roll.
Thank you.
All right. Oddly enough, people are still coming into the waiting room, so let me admit everybody, and then I'm going to ask again. All right, probably have a short window here while we have everybody, but are there any other parties in the meeting who wish to examine this debtor?
Mr. Haley, this is Terry Dick. I do have one quick subject.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Ms. Owens, with respect to Quartet Farms, the statement of financial affairs says that the business is horse sales, leasing, and showing. To your knowledge, does Quartet Farms have any horses currently for lease, sale, or show?
One is for, I mean, he's like for lease, but it's free.
Okay, and where is that animal kept? Is that
In
your
Florida.
residence?
For lease, but for free. For lease, but for free. Maybe I'm too dumb and not familiar. But how do you lease? So essentially you borrow the horse. You just like, hey, let me borrow this horse for a couple of weeks and I'll bring it back. Like, I don't know how that works. Maybe there's someone who's much more educated and knows what she's talking about, but I didn't know you could lease for free a horse.
I mean, he's like for lease, but it's free.
Okay, and where is that animal kept? Is that
In
your
Florida.
residence?
It's a care
In Florida?
Yeah.
And where in Florida?
Wellington.
And who owns the property where the horse is?
I'm not sure who owns the. He's at like somebody's boarding barn. I'm not sure who owns it. I can get the information. I'm just not sure off the top of my head who owns it.
Okay. Other than that horse, do you know if Quartet Farms has any other assets?
Like small amounts of like tack and riding apparel, but that's it. And like old horses that are, retired.
So it does have other horses?
Yeah, it has horses in like their late 20s.
Okay. And where are those animals kept?
Those are my parents' property.
How many?
There are 7 there.
Mm.
And does Quartet Farms have a bank account?
Yes.
And are any of your bills paid from Quartet's bank account?
No.
And does any money come to you from Quartet Farms?
No.
And when's the last time you've seen the Schedule C for Quartet Farms?
It was last filed in 2022. I believe they got extensions, so I think that would have been the last year.
Okay. When you get Mr. Haley that 23 tax return, if you could get him the last Schedule C for Quartet Farms.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Haley.
Okay, thank you.
One thing I just want to, really quick, why don't we just put it on the record? Ms. Owens, will you just consent to Mr. Haley and Mr. Deke sharing with me all documents that you provide to them?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because then this makes it easier, then I don't have to ask you directly.
Yeah, anything, yeah.
We'll get those over to you.
Thank you.
Good luck with
All right.
those.
Okay, again, people are still coming in, but while I have a short window here, I'm going to ask one final time. Are there any parties in the meeting who wish to examine this debtor? All right, now understand. I'll give an extra beat because I started muting people, but you're going to have to unmute if you want to talk. All right. I'm going to say for the record, there are no additional people who want to examine this debtor in this case. I've received and verified debtor's Social Security information and ID. The information matches my records. Ms. Owens, the ID and Social Security card copy that I saw from you, were those true copies of your original documents?
Yes.
All right. You are free to go then. This meeting is concluded. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And that's how that hearing went, which is honestly fabulous. I'm loving this for her. I really, and I do believe just from the way she was being questioned by the DOJ attorney, I would not be surprised if this is going to result in a parallel investigation into the financials and eventually result in charges. Because just her energy and just the way that she came, not saying that she wouldn't be prepared under normal circumstances, but you could tell she was very well aware and she did her research. And it just, I'm having this feeling that they're going to look into this and they're going to do an investigation, probably while her current trial moves forward. And it's going to be fabulous. So apparently Gringus entered his appearance on a limited basis, probably allegedly, hypothetically speaking, you know, just in my personal opinion, after the way this went, needing to cover his basis, if you know what I mean. I don't know, just speculating, just throwing it out there. So I think the next live, I really want to watch these Michael Maricini interviews. And I think that's what the next live will start, unless, and again, I feel like I'm missing something. There was something else that happened recently. Well, we have the YouTuber, Hey Rob, that filing, but I feel like I might, I don't know. I'll make a poll and you guys could decide whether you want to do Michael's interviews first, or if you want to do the newest injunction against harassment filing. So I'm going to gift out 3 more Patreon memberships because we're about to go over on Patreon now. Again, it's not Laura related. We're going to be going through some Epstein emails. So that may not be something you're interested in, but it may be something you're interested in, at least for this live. But are you guys ready? So if you just know, if you already have like a free membership on Patreon and you're guessing, trying to win a paid membership, you'd have to cancel your current membership, wait for it to expire before my gift link will allow you to accept a new one. But I guess we'll figure out that issue when we get there. So 3 Patreon memberships. First question. What was the first feature-length animated movie ever released? What was the first feature-length animated movie ever released? It was approved, Wendy? Ah. What? Oh, is that the second one? Callie. I think it's Callie. Oh, no, hold on. I'm sorry. It's Boots and Scoots. Boots and Scoots. It is Snow White. But Callie, you can email me too if you don't have, because I always feel bad. So Boots and Scoots and Callie, you guys can email me. Let me get my email scrolling. Okay, my email scrolling. It is Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, which honestly, when you actually look into Snow White and how young she is compared to how old he is, you really start to realize how messed up the whole thing is, okay? So, second question. What's the name of the anthemic dance near the beginning of the Rocky Horror Picture Show? What was the name of the anthemic dance near the beginning of the Rocky Horror Picture Show? Ooh, ooh, ooh. And if you haven't yet, please take a second, hit that thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here. It is the time warp. Claire Fisher, you are the winner. Email me. Make sure you just say, hey, it's Claire Fisher from the chat, Patreon winner, and I will send you your gifted link. Congratulations. Okay, we have one more for this live. Before we go on over, let me fly back now to general trivia. I have a whole notebook. I used to do trivia every Tuesday, and I have a massive notebook because I used to individually pick out all of my questions. And it was fun. We would do Wheel of Fortune. We would do Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Family Feud. I'd love to do. We could do Laura Owens Family Feud or Wheel of Fortune. If anyone would be interested in doing like a Tuesday trivia based off of Laura, and I could have people up on you do teams like Wheel of Fortune, literally like I have the whole program that spins and stuff. If anyone is interested in doing that, we could totally do a Laura Owens related trivia. I think it's fun. I love trivia. I love any games. Okay. Here is the last and final question for our Patreon giveaway. Which is the world's hottest chili pepper? Which is the world's hottest chili pepper? Yeah, Mary? Oh, I would love, yeah, Boots Scoots. Okay, hell yeah. And if you're someone who'd be willing to come on the panel to actually play the game itself, just let me know. Okay, I'm waiting. Oh, I think Callie Lisa won again, but you already have one, so I'm going to the one right below you too, which is Wendy Michelle, the Carolina Reaper. So Callie Lisa, Wendy Michelle, oh goodness, I forget all the time. I think Boots, right? Boots was our first one. And then who was our time warp? Hold on. Claire, and then Claire. Congratulations. You guys are the 4 winners for the Patreon giveaways today. Just send me an email. I'll drop the link again, and I will send you a link if you are already a current existing member, a free one. You'll just have to cancel the membership, wait for the day. It'll tell you what day your membership will expire when you cancel, and then accept the link, which will give you the paid membership. Okay, awesome. All right, so I should be on tomorrow for members only. I'm going over to Patreon. If you guys are over on Patreon, I will see you on a few minutes. If not, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.